Hey guys, Dave from dadsRfunny coming to you from the end of Season 11 MADMA map, and it looks like Splice got here just a little bit too late to save us. Oh well. And I'm sure we'll run into him in the future, and I paused there because I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler here. Now, you guys who have paid attention to the website know that Splice's name is actually Gene Splice, spelled Jean. And Splice is actually not male, but female. But anyway, that's kind of a long story. Okay, so back to the point at hand. This is the 11th season of MADMA and the map that corresponds to it. We are actually going to release 2 maps, which is a little unusual. I'm going to try to get the next one out the week after this one. This is going to be the 11th season map, end of season map, if you will. We're also in a little bit going to try to release a beginning of season 12 map. And you may say, well, what's the difference? Well, the difference is this is the original map that was made in 1.73 beta. And we've spliced it, no pun intended, into, as you can see with these rough edges, we've spliced it into the more modern 1.8 map using the seed Dad and Mary SOS, which happens to spawn in a giant ocean. Now, there is a little tiny island, which of course we covered up when we imported this island, probably right about here. But that's been totally blown out by this new large island. And the idea is that if you simply have Minecraft 1.8 and you want to start a fresh map using our seed, you can actually explore not MADMA Island, but all the rest of the stuff that we're going to be exploring in Season 12. So you can already get a head start on that. So simply open up your Minecraft 1.8 release version, Dad and Mary SOS, same old seed as always. Try that and see what you see when you're not in this sort of central spawn zone. Find all the other little islands. And we're going to talk about that in the next map when we release it, the beginning of Season 12 map. So there's going to be a download link for this. And as you can see, as I move forward here, we're leaving the MADMA zone. And again, it's just kind of a big cube of chunks that we imported directly into the Dad and Mary SOS seed on 1.8. And if you go over here, now this would be the northern section of the island, right? You're going to see some stuff that we probably either only barely touched on. I think Sass came up here to look for landmarks like these little islands. Sass has been up here, but in actuality, I don't think Mary and I have ever made it this far north. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of walk around this map, and I'm going to show you some other features that you can find both on this map and in the new Season 12 map that includes all the 1.8 release features and landmarks. So as we progress through here, this is the northern center part, I believe, where we found the horses. Yes, there probably are going to be some horses down here. Let's take a few moments just to, yeah, there they are. So there's some remaining horses that were supposedly left over by the Japanese occupation of this island, which of course would have been 90 years in the past since MADMA takes place in the 2030s. Now that may be a surprise to you guys as well, but some of you have been paying attention and have noticed some date references in the future. And that does incidentally explain why Mary knows all the popular songs of the early part of this century, because in fact, they're older songs. They're not brand new. They're from the past because we're in the future. Okay, well, anyway, this is Teleport Island. So we're already at a place where, you guys have seen this feature quite a bit. And we started off end of season 10, and then of course the beginning of season 11 here, made our way back east to the mothership, which is that way. And you'll notice a few things about the mothership when you explore this island. Really, the only thing major that we did was we blew out the SOS sign. And then, this is another feature you're going to see, and it's going to kind of freak you out probably. You may or may not have already visited this if you've explored this seed before. This is Splice Island. Now, a lot of you wouldn't recognize it, except for the fact that Splice actually appears coming out of this hole in the ground in MADMA Season 11, Episode 13, I believe, when he finally escapes the lab. Well, not escapes, but leaves the lab in order to help Mary and Dad. Now, you're not going to find the lab down here. This is actually where the lab would be. We actually have a separate build that's specifically for a different version of Minecraft. In this case, it uses a Neon Advanced Technology Pack for 1.64. We have actually built the underground lab in a different version of Minecraft because obviously mod packs are not up to 1.8 and probably won't be for a while. So that's yet again another feature that you can at least look at on the surface. And Splice, of course, talks about how this lab that was created by the evil guy, they had some issues, their nuclear reactor released some radiation, etc. And they've had trouble with the reactor ever since. You know, the power went out and all that stuff. And of course, they've also nuked this whole area in sort of a radiation release, Chernobyl style. Well, not exactly like Chernobyl, but you get the idea. And it's caused problems in terms of converting what would have been otherwise a normal island into this, well, I don't want to say hideous, but certainly mutated landscape. All right, so that's it for this feature. Again, another feature that you can see, I'm going to go ahead and put the coordinates on here. Anybody with the Dad and Mary SOS seed flying around on these coordinates, minus 700, positive 200-ish, you're gonna see this island. And you'll also see Teleport Island, which is just a little bit away from where we started. Now, I'm going to show you something else. We're going to have to teleport to do this. Minus 500. Let's do this. 100. All right. Well, now we're getting into possibly some spoilers. The MADMA SOS sign right here. I wanted to go over a couple of things before I actually teleport out to the distant location. You'll have McPier when you get this map. Pretty awesome. You'll have the rocket crater. You'll also have the blown out SOS. The horses are not on this map. They will be on the Season 12 map because the boat will be on there. And of course we have the rabbits and the sheep and the pig and all that stuff. So you've got some animals and of course all the chest contents. Now you can relight the sign if you want, I suppose. And you can even maybe upgrade some of the structures here. Make your own stuff. Send us screenshots. We'd love to post them on the dadsRfunny fan site. But one other thing that I want to talk about, and I don't necessarily want to show you, but let's maybe make this kind of an interesting concept by combining it. Okay, so you've got this map. You can download it now. Shortly, we're going to post the Season 12 map. And if you'll remember, the ship, when we took off, was pointed this way, and the wind was blowing this way. And so we are going to head north. And so that happens, thankfully, to be the same direction that Sass remembers flying in the helicopter. And if you watch the helicopter footage and you fly this way, you're going to start to see some things in the helicopter footage from Season 11 that you're going to see coming up here, some landmarks. I don't want to go into detail about what those landmarks are. They're going to feature heavily in Season 12. And we might talk a little bit about them when we combine. We're, again, doing two maps this time, really. End of Season 11, beginning of Season 12. So when we do that, you're going to be able to stitch the pieces together and make some conclusions about what it is that you're looking at. And I think at this point, I am going to stop flying around. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. As a matter of fact, does this look familiar? Yes. That was one of the islands from the helicopter footage. So you can see that Sass's original helicopter crash that freed her from captivity. And of course, we don't know yet exactly what happened to her parents. But all of that action must have occurred in this part. So I want you guys to, again, download this map, but also download Season 12, because you're going to see some extra structures on Season 12 that we're working on right now that are going to be part of sort of the excitement and the plot buildup, we hope, of Season 12 of MADMA. And a lot of you are asking, when is Season 12 going to be? How many more seasons of MADMA are there going to be? We don't really know exactly the answer to either of those questions right at the moment. But MADMA Season 12 is going to be coming soon, hopefully. And there will be, my guess, is probably a Season 12 and a Season 13 at a minimum. Now, I don't know how many more seasons after that, because as I've told you, little Sass, at this point, has gotten so old that she's going to be going to college. And of course, I actually mean Camber. But the Little Sass character, it would be difficult to have her in the show. Just like as you've seen Ben sort of drop out of the show, he has joined the Air Force, and so he can't be in MADMA going forward, at least unless it's some sort of, I guess, special cameo appearance in the distant future if we are still filming additional seasons. But our goal is to have the show end gracefully with a plot arc that is befitting all of the years of effort that we've put into this. And, you know, we spent a lot of time knowing that Ben was going to be joining the Air Force, building season 9 and 10, and having that end carefully. So the same thing is going to happen with the remaining seasons. We're going to gradually phase Sasquatch out so she can go to college. And then, of course, Mary and Dad will find their way. Now, we've also planned for a contingency in case for some reason we can't film additional seasons. And you know, that is that season 10 really is sort of an end cap. We put in an end cap with Bernard making statements about Sasquatch makes it to her family. Mary and Dad make it back home to the real world and reunite with Ben, blah, blah, blah. So in essence, the beauty of the whole system is that MADMA, for all intents and purposes, ended at the end of season 10. And so what we're doing now is building in these optional seasons, knowing that we could eventually have to stop production when all the actors are grown up and gone away. And so by doing so, really these optional seasons are just filling in some of the blanks between the words that Bernard spoke at the end of season 10, episode 13. All right, well, that's it for me for now, and I hope you enjoy this map. The download link is in the video description. You can get it from dadsRfunny.com. You can also follow us for news about the show on dadsRfunny.com, and expect yet again another map, a double map download in the future days to come. We are going to actually get you guys either the final version or a version, if it's not complete, of season 12 and the map that we're going to be using at the beginning of that season for more cool stuff that you guys can look for on that map, maybe explore, find hints, learn about things if you're interested, and, you know, play on your own. Okay, well, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoy this map. I hope you have enjoyed it in the show, and I also hope you enjoy playing on it on your own in Minecraft version 1.8. So again, the seed for the map, if you decide to just recreate your own fresh map that has all the landmarks outside of this main island, that seed, same old seed we've been using forever, but the link and the seed are in the description. But obviously, if you want all of these structures, you're going to have to download our copy of the map, which would be this copy. All right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.